My name's Sonia Nussin, and I am the artistic director of Go Compose North America. And the other person here with me is Michael Rickleton, who is our lead composition tutor and runs Go Compose North America with me. We are super excited. This is the first time we've ever done a live um, YouTube live stream. And this is to mark the start of our summer, Go Composium Summer 2024. We are presenting a concert of music by Daphne, Keela, and Simon, who have all been participants in our Go Composium Discovery Edition workshop, which is open to generally open to kids between the ages of 11 and 18. We've had some wonderful tutors joining us. We've had Saman Shahi, who is a composer, pianist, and conductor, and we have who's been doing the composition tutoring with Michael. And we've also had Kathleen Berger, who is a flute player and a conductor and educator, and Patrick Quinn, who is a bassoon player and an educator. And they're both amazing performers. And they have been playing the compositions whilst the students have been writing them. And this is very rare because usually you don't get to hear your music played until only the performance or the rehearsals and the performance. And sometimes composers don't get to hear their music played at all. So this is very exciting. I'm just going to show you a couple more pages before we get started, if I can get this right. So this is our website and our social media. If you'd like to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, or YouTube, our handle is Go Compose NA for North America. But also, we are offering these workshops this summer for free, thanks to the generosity of donations. If you're able to make a donation, this link is also in the information on YouTube, and it's on our website. And Michael, do you want to say anything about giving donations to us before we get started?
I mean, it's so great to be able to offer these creative workshops for kids all over the place, and not have to worry about financial ability to participate. So being able to help support this education experience, musical experience for these young composers. We're appreciative of everyone who donates, and it really is a special time. These workshops are amazing, and it's such a great experience. And so for those who have donated, thank you so much. If you're able to donate, please do so. We're thrilled to welcome you into our Go Compose community as a sponsor.
Thank you, Michael. That's brilliant. Okay, so the first thing we did in our workshop today and yesterday is we built a word wall. Nobody has seen this yet, or maybe they've seen it when they filled in the words, but we asked, what are the words that come to mind when you say composer or when you think about what composing is? And these are the words. The bigger the word, the more it was said or typed in by, we all did it, the tutors and the participants all joined into this. So I thought it would be fun to share this with you. The biggest word being creative, music, and writer are the biggest words. Yeah, there we go. So let's get on with our compositions for flute and bassoon by Daphne, Keela, and Simon. Michael, are we starting with you or are we starting with Saman?
I believe we're starting with Saman.
Okay, so Saman, it's over to you.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for having me as one of the tutors with this amazing group of young creators. So, I'm going to introduce these pieces that we've created over the past 2 days. I can't remember which one are we going first with first. Are we starting with flute or bassoon? start with.
We are starting with flute. So we're doing day
Flute.
one, which was flute
Day
with
one.
you and bassoon with Michael.
Beautiful. So I'm going to introduce the composition that our friends Daphne and Keeler created together. So this was actually a co-composed piece. And let me just open that up here. And here we go. And the title of this piece is Painting on a Canvas. Now, as you can see, you don't really see a lot of musical ideas. Instead, you are seeing a lot of instructions and what we call prompts. So basically, the idea was using chance in creating our pieces and creating our music. So what our amazing flute player, Kathleen, did was that she demonstrated for us a lot of interesting sounds and ways of playing on the flute, and unusual or very conventional sounds. And then our friends, Daphne and Keeler, with the help of myself and also Kathleen, picked some of these sounds and sort of categorize them. So number one, number two, number three, do this, do that. So these little prompts and instructions to the player. And as you can see, the twinkle, twinkle, little star shows up a lot. So we're making that little reference to some of the popular.
Before we perform, can we quickly meet Daphne and Keeler? Do you want to come on camera quickly? Daphne and Keeler, and wave to everyone. And is there anything, what did you like about writing for the flute, Daphne or Keeler? You can tell us. Keeler, oh, there you go. Keeler, what was it like to write for the flute?
I liked that Kathleen was very understanding on what we wanted, and as we wrote it down, I could see it all coming together and building our composition.
That's great. And what about for you, Daphne? How was it to write for the flute?
I liked that it was very fun to work with, and there were a lot of different sounds to choose from. And I think the ones we chose were good for our composition.
Great. Okay, so you guys can go off camera now, and we're going to welcome Kathleen. And
Hello,
Simone and Kathleen, let's, I'll leave it to you.
Yeah, and I was just gonna say, finally mention that we actually literally tossed, we rolled a dice, and we came up with the order in which these are going to be played. So I believe, Kathleen, we're going to play number 1, I think, today. So
sure.
This version is the one we came up with, and we made sure that also the beginning and the end were tied together. So, and I'm going to leave it to Kathleen. Thank you so much.
Bravo.
Bravo, Daphne and Keeler.
Good job. Okay, Michael, it's over to you.
All right. So Saman mentioned this, but I'll say one other thing about one of our themes of this workshop, which was chance music. Saman mentioned flipping a coin. One of our big mantras here at Go Compose is that there's no one right way to write music. I always like to say there's no have to, there's no should. And we really love to explore different ways of creating music. And that doesn't have to be in any traditional notated way. And one thing, one aspect we explored over these 2 days was creating music by chance, whether it is, as Saman said, flipping a coin, rolling dice, in helping us make musical decisions, or possibly even letting some of the elements of the piece be left to the performer to make a decision with really specific guidelines from the composer. And this next piece for solo bassoon by Simon introduces some aleatoric or chance elements for the bassoonist to choose. Simon gave specific instructions of what notes to play and a collection of pitches, and gave Patrick the license to determine an ordering of pitches and a duration of pitches. And so some of the chance elements that we'll experience in this piece are chance elements that are left to the performer. So I'd love to introduce Simon. Simon, if you want to join us here. And so Simon, this bassoon piece, this is totally my fault. Do we have a title for this bassoon piece?
I don't.
And that's totally fine too. Because you don't necessarily need to name all of the pieces, but I'd love to get your take on sort of the atmosphere that this piece is about. What image is it creating?
Well, when I was writing it, I wanted to go for something empty, and I honestly don't remember if we achieved that because I haven't listened to it in a while.
Well, I think from what I remember, this was incredibly successful, creating that sort of emptiness and plaintive quality. So I will bring up the score. Let's see here.
And Simon, you can mute now because we're going to hear Patrick play.
All right.
And can we see the score here?
Yes.
All right, and I will mute myself and I'll turn it over to Patrick Quinn.
Nice job, Simon.
Wonderful job. Thank you, Patrick. Well done,
Beautiful.
Simon.
Thanks.
Are we going back to Saman now, or are we sticking with Michael? Which do you want to do, Michael?
We'll stick with me and continue with Simon with his flute piece from today. This is another piece that is very much about atmosphere. Simon, do you remember the first word that came to mind when we were exploring this material with the flute? And one sort of feeling you were trying to evoke with this piece?
Yeah, I was trying to go for like a very peaceful sound.
Awesome. Well, let me bring up this score. There we go. And I will turn this over to Kathleen.
So the first sounds are whistle tones. So you may need to get really close to your volume in order to hear it. It's very quiet. Bravo, Simon.
Well done. Thank you, Kathleen, and bravo, Simon. Let's move over to Saman.
So I'm going to introduce the final two pieces by Daphne and Keeler. We came up with really clever ways to do it, and just to show you how we use chance, Daphne decided that she had some pumpkin seeds in the house. So, and I'm going to show you this. She just threw them on a piece of paper, and it came up with this little random pattern. And then we decided, okay, now how do we turn this into music? So we started assigning various things to this. Let me now find this one. Here we go. So we started giving, musical parameters to the image and find connections and where it's busier and where it's less busy, where it's high, where it's low. And collaboratively between myself and Patrick and Daphne, we came up with this musical idea. And Daphne obviously had the final say and the majority of all the musical decisions were by her. We were just there to support her. So I'm going to go off camera and let you hear the Ballad of the Spilled Seeds, I believe.
And before I begin, I wanted to point out that we put a little bit of a Daffy in there. Often composers might put their name or hide secrets in there, and so we made it especially about her today. Nice job, Daphne.
Bravo, Daphne. Daphne, did you want to say anything about your music? We forgot to ask you just before it was played. Nothing to say? Yes,
Yeah,
no? Oh, here she is.
So yesterday, I think Michael showed us some birds on a wire and told us how a composer made those into music. And then today, Simon told us about a composer that would drop glasses on the floor and he would make music out of the shattered glass by recording them in the pattern that they shattered. So that gave me the idea to use pumpkin seeds to make music, and I think it turned out pretty good, actually.
It sure did. It sure did. That was
We
really, really
agree.
nice.
Well done, Daphne. That was excellent. And I love the way that you described that.
Beautiful.
Okay, Simon, let's move on to Keeler's music.
Keeler's music. So finally, last but not least, Keeler decided that she was going to do something with sort of like a, randomly picking something out of a hat. So she came up with 7 musical ideas based on 7 things that Patrick, demonstrated for us on the bassoon, and after she wrote these very thoughtfully, wrote each of these sort of musical cells and musical ideas. We threw them in a hat, and literally she had picked one out of the hats, and then we recorded the order. But we decided to give it some sort of structure. She put one thing at the beginning and one thing at the end, just so that the whole piece is bookended. So I'm gonna also share this one with you.
And let's just quickly ask Keeler if she has anything to say about her music before we hear it. Keeler, do you have anything you want to say or share with us?
Yeah, so when I was thinking of what to make, I incorporated ideas that were a theme. As you can see in the picture, it says play happy, lovely theme. And I did that at the start and at the end so it would all kind of coordinate. And we just pulled some out of the hat and laid them down and had an order so that they can be played. And then we changed some around so that it would sound in a certain way that I liked it, and I think it turned out pretty good.
Wonderful. Just in case anyone's watching this and thinking, why does it say Daphne when Keeler's speaking? Daphne and Keeler have been doing this from the same location. So that's been really super cool, but they share audio in order for us not to have feedback. Great. Okay, let's hand it back over to Simon and Patrick.
And here is pull one out of the hat. Thank you.
Nice job, Keeler.
Bravo, well done, Keela. That was lovely. Well done to everyone. I'm going to come on screen. Well done to everyone. We've had just a wonderful time, and I'm just super happy that we got to make this live streamed for all of you. Again, if you liked what you saw and you'd like to help support us, the link is in the description. And also, if you're interested in taking workshops with us, visit our website, which is gocomposenorthamerica.com. Also, we have spaces available in our summer Go Composium workshops. We have a workshop for kids aged 7 to 10 called In the Wild Kids Edition. We have on the same day an adult beginners workshop for adults of any age that are grown-ups. So that's our grown-ups edition. And we have some other offerings for some more experienced composers and also for emerging professionals and educators. If you're a classroom educator or even an instrumental teacher and you'd like some tricks about how to bring composition into your teaching, we're offering that as well. So with that, I'm going to end this meeting or end this concert and say thank you to everyone, especially thank you to Simone, Patrick, Michael, Kathleen, and of course, our 3 wonderful participants, Simon, Keela, and Daphne. Keep composing, everyone. Bye.
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 Bye.